It's like standing on the edge of doom, aware that the world surrounding you is decaying. The sky turns dark, the earth shakes, and survival is a roll of the dice. Today, more than 7 billion people call this planet home, but humanity was once on the verge of extinction forever. But few know how close we were to extinction, or how an ancient catastrophe remade our destiny. What, that almost wiped us out? And how did we resist unbeatable odds? The answers lie deep in the past, where the story of human survival begins. About 74,000 years ago, the most destructive super eruption in human history took place in present-day Indonesia at the Toba supervolcano. This was such an eruption that ash and debris flew as far as 50 miles into the atmosphere, shrouding the earth in darkness. The blast was heard from many thousand miles away, where massive air fallout fell far from the eruption site. Volcanic ash coated the landscape and killed life, throwing the planet into a volcanic winter. Sun warmth struggled for years to penetrate that thick blanket of ash hanging in the atmosphere. Drop temperatures killed crops and ecosystems fell apart. Not only did this happen on a local scale, but it was global in scope. Toba released energy like exploding each second at least 1,000 Hiroshima bombs each. The eruption's after effect also resulted in massive climate changes. Temperatures could fall by sometimes up to even more than 15 degrees Fahrenheit. To early humans, it became one of the coldest ice ages recorded. The cold would come in, and with it came famine. Plants died, animals disappeared, near extinction. The eruption devastated vast areas of land, but the real terror was in what followed, a fight for survival that would determine whether humanity had a future. The ash cloud lingered, and the chilling temperatures were only part of the danger. The eruption's after effects turned the planet into an inhospitable wasteland. Rivers froze, fertile lands turned barren, and animals once abundant became scarce. The cold was endured by them as well, but it was also about survival from extinction. Before the eruption, humans were spread all across the earth and thriving well in little groups. But then, after the explosion, survival became nearly impossible. Populations have collapsed. At the lowest point, it has given genetic evidence that humanity was reduced to as few as 10,000 individuals worldwide. In some areas, it may have even dropped to just 1,000. This is known as the population bottleneck, a term scientists use to describe the dramatic reduction in genetic diversity caused by a near-extinction event. Think of it like a funnel where only a tiny fraction of humans made it through, passing their genes onto future generations. The fewer people who survive, the fewer genetic traits get passed down, and that's exactly what happened. But why is this bottleneck so important? For one, it shows how fragile humanity is, a population that small faces serious risks. Inbreeding became a significant threat. With such limited genetic diversity, diseases could spread like wildfire, and any environmental disaster could have wiped out the remaining survivors. Nevertheless, humanity survived against all odds. Imagine a world where all are going to face extinction. Every day the fight continued, not just against cold and hunger, but against all realities of extinction. This was the most desperate form of survival, and the threats did not come only from the environment. One had to struggle against other species of hominins, such as Neanderthals, for resources that were also limited. What kept our ancestors alive during these bleak times? The answer lies not in individual strength, but in unity. Small bands of humans began to adapt in remarkable ways. They cooperated, shared resources, and developed new survival strategies. It wasn't just about finding food, it was about innovation and resilience. The fire became essential for warmth and protection. Clothing crafted from animal hides helped shield against the biting cold. New tools were developed for hunting and gathering, and perhaps most importantly, these small groups leaned on each other, forming close-knit communities where cooperation was the key to survival. Some researchers argue that refuge areas during this period included regions such as these, especially in Africa. Such areas gave access to more stable climate conditions and resources. Most of the refuge was submerged in volcanic winter pockets, where humans found them to continue living in these places. Lakes and rivers probably supported life while almost the entire world became barren. Africa may have that. But survival wasn't just about shelter or food, it was about persistence. Generation after generation, these early humans held on, pushing through unimaginable hardship. Their resilience became the foundation for humanity's resurgence. setting the stage for the incredible journey from a mere few thousand survivors to the billions alive today. In the shadow of the Toba volcano eruption, survival became the most immediate challenge for the remaining human population. With the Earth's atmosphere shrouded in ash, temperatures plummeted, and sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense volcanic haze. This global winter led to catastrophic crop failures, a severe reduction in edible plant life, and a dramatic decline in animal populations. For early humans, every day became a fight against the elements, predators, and the gnawing threat of starvation. All these challenges were multifaceted. In a situation when the temperature started falling abysmally, warmth became paramount. Clothing had to be prepared from animal hides. It was hard work, not just in having the physical tools, but also in getting people together to prepare the materials. Fire, having gone out of the luxury dome into that of necessity for survival, means all forms of warmth, great against predators, and being able to cook food into easily digestible and much richer fare. Once people master fire, they will be greatly gifted in their content against the cold and for their fighting species. The pull of predators was another hand added to the danger. The saber-toothed cats, giant hyenas, and all the larger carnivores shared the territories with the humans, competing for the same scarce resources. Early humans had to improve their earlier weapons for defense during the hunt, developing more complicated ones such as spears and later on, bows. Group hunting was thus important, and it was the place where people gave up their lives and were set up. Cooperation then, at the community level, was very critical for survival in such an extremely harsh environment. The survivors relied on one another, pooling and sharing food when it was possible. It also included cooperation in hunting, rearing children, taking sick persons, and distribution of resources. Those who survived because of communal effort, showing how people can stretch their empathy and cooperative capacity under high-stress conditions. Innovation was the cornerstone of survival. The development of new tools, stone blades, improved spear tips, and later, the bow and arrow, provided better efficiency in hunting and processing food. Clothing became more sophisticated, offering better insulation against the cold. Additionally, the ability to build temporary shelters with natural materials allowed groups to remain mobile while still finding protection from the elements. Certain regions provided refuge during this time, particularly areas in Africa where the climate was more temperate and resources were more plentiful. These refugees allowed some human populations to survive and even thrive despite the environmental catastrophe. Archaeological evidence suggests that coastal areas with access to marine resources became critical lifelines. Shellfish, fish, and other marine life provided a steady food source when terrestrial options were scarce. As we have covered the fight for survival, now we will discuss some more about this. The small scattered human populations began to recover as the years passed. Over thousands of years, these survivors expanded, adapting to new environments and gradually increasing in number. One of the most significant aspects of this recovery was the cultural and technological evolution that took place. These innovations were not just reactions to the harsh conditions, but also a testament to human resilience and creativity. A major milestone was the development of language, the ability to communicate complex ideas, share knowledge, and collaborate on tasks gave humans a significant advantage over other species. Language allowed for the transmission of survival strategies, the passing down of cultural practices, and the strengthening of social bonds. It enabled the teaching of hunting techniques, the sharing of medical knowledge, and the fostering of collective memory, all of which were essential for survival. Another critical advancement was the refinement of hunting strategies. As prey became scarcer and more elusive, humans developed more sophisticated methods for tracking and capturing animals. Group hunts involving coordinated efforts to drive prey into traps or ambushes became more common. This level of coordination required planning, communication, and trust among group members. The development of art, as evidenced by cave paintings and carvings, is another fascinating milestone. These artistic expressions may have served multiple purposes, documenting hunts, recording important events, or even functioning as part of early spiritual or ritual practices. They are a testament to the growing complexity of human thought and the capacity for abstract thinking, even during times of extreme hardship. Archaeological discoveries have provided a wealth of evidence tracing human migration and expansion out of Africa after the population bottleneck. Fossils, tools, and genetic studies all point to a gradual but determined spread across the globe. These findings suggest that as the climate began to stabilize and resources became more abundant, human populations ventured out of their refuges, exploring and settling in new territories. Genetic evidence also underscores the impact of this bottleneck. The limited number of survivors led to reduced genetic diversity, a phenomenon still observable in modern human DNA. This genetic bottleneck had profound implications for the health and adaptability of future generations. It meant that humanity was more vulnerable to disease and environmental changes, but it also set the stage for genetic innovations that would allow for greater adaptability in the long term. Today, humanity stands as a testament to the resilience and adaptability of those early survivors. From a population that may have dwindled to just a few thousand, we now number over 8 billion. The genetic legacy of the Toba survivors is carried in every human alive today, a living reminder of our shared history and the fragility of existence. The challenges faced by our ancestors have left an indelible mark on human culture and biology. The ability to cooperate, innovate, and adapt underpins much of what it means to be human. The lessons learned during this time of crisis continue to resonate. They remind us that survival often depends not on individual strength, but on community, collaboration, and the willingness to share resources and knowledge. Modern scientific advancements, such as the ability to trace genetic lineages and study ancient DNA, have provided profound insights into this period of human history. These studies not only illuminate the past, but also offer lessons for the future. Understanding how early humans overcame such extreme adversity can inform how we address current global challenges, such as climate change, pandemics, and resource scarcity. Speculative questions arise when considering the parallels between the past and present. Could humanity face another catastrophic event on the scale of the Toba eruption? Are we better equipped to handle such a crisis, or are we just as vulnerable as our ancestors were? These questions prompt reflection on the importance of global cooperation, scientific innovation, and preparedness in the face of potential disasters. The story of the Toba supervolcano eruption and the subsequent survival of humanity is not just a tale of endurance, but one of triumph. It is a narrative of how a few thousand individuals, against all odds, managed to rebuild and set the stage for the incredible diversity and complexity of human civilization today. Their legacy is a reminder of the strength inherent in community, the power of innovation, and the resilience of the human spirit. The story of humanity's survival after the Toba supervolcano eruption raises profound speculative questions about the future of our species. As we look back at how a population reduced to just a few thousand individuals managed to rebound and flourish, we are reminded of both the fragility and resilience of human life. Could a similar catastrophe occur today? And if it did, would modern humanity, with all its technological advancements, fare any better than our ancient ancestors? One of the most pressing speculative questions is whether humanity could survive another large-scale natural disaster. Scientists agree that supervolcanoes like Toba are not a thing of the past. The Yellowstone caldera in the United States, for example, is a known supervolcano with the potential to erupt again. Unlike ancient humans, we possess the means to predict, monitor, and perhaps mitigate the effects of such eruptions, but the scale of devastation could still be immense. Ash clouds could block out the sun, crop failures could lead to widespread famine, and global temperatures could drop significantly, creating a modern version of the volcanic winter that nearly wiped out our ancestors. Would global cooperation prevail in the face of such a crisis, or would nations descend into competition and conflict over dwindling resources? The lessons from the past suggest that survival would depend on community, cooperation, and innovation. Just as early humans relied on shared resources and mutual aid, modern humanity would need to prioritize collaboration over competition. This is particularly relevant as we face other global threats today, such as climate change, pandemics, and geopolitical tensions. Another intriguing question is how modern technology would influence survival. Our ancestors' innovations in fire, clothing, and tools were born out of necessity. Today, we have advanced technologies like satellite monitoring, genetic engineering, and global communication networks. Could these tools help us survive a supervolcano eruption or a similar catastrophe? Would they be enough to prevent a collapse of civilization, or would we still face the same existential challenges? The Toba event also prompts reflection on the importance of genetic diversity. The bottleneck that followed the eruption reduced humanity to a dangerously small population, resulting in a loss of genetic variation. Today, we are more interconnected than ever, but this very interconnectedness also makes us vulnerable. Pandemics like COVID-19 have shown how quickly a disease can spread across the globe. Genetic diversity is crucial for resilience against such threats. Understanding how ancient humans overcame their genetic bottleneck can inform modern approaches to genetic research and public health. Speculation also extends to the cultural and psychological impact of surviving such a catastrophe. Our ancestors not only survived physically, but also developed culturally, creating art, language, and social structures. How would modern humans adapt culturally to a similar event? Would we see a resurgence of community-oriented living, or would individualism prevail? Would art, storytelling, and spirituality take on new forms as they did for our ancestors, becoming tools for psychological resilience? The lessons for today are clear. Humanity's greatest strength lies in its ability to innovate, cooperate, and adapt. These qualities allowed early humans to survive the aftermath of the Toba eruption, and they remain just as crucial in the face of modern challenges. Global issues like climate change, resource depletion, and pandemics require collective action and a long-term perspective. The story of our ancestors is a reminder that survival is not guaranteed, but with unity and innovation, it is possible to overcome even the most daunting challenges. The tale of humanity's near extinction and subsequent resurgence is one of the most compelling stories in our history. The Toba supervolcano eruption, with its catastrophic impact, pushed early humans to the brink of annihilation. Yet, from the ashes of this disaster, a few thousand survivors managed to persevere, adapt, and lay the foundation for the world we know today. Their journey was marked by unimaginable hardship. They faced extreme cold, starvation, predation, and the constant threat of extinction. But rather than succumbing to despair, they rose to the challenge. They cooperated, innovated, and evolved, demonstrating the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. They developed tools to hunt and protect themselves, created clothing and shelters to endure the harsh climate, and forged social bonds that strengthened their chances of survival. The genetic bottleneck caused by the Toba eruption left an indelible mark on the human genome, a testament to the precariousness of our species' early existence. Yet from this limited genetic pool, humanity rebounded. Over tens of thousands of years, populations expanded, migrated, and diversified, spreading across the globe and developing the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and civilizations we see today. The lessons from this ancient catastrophe are profoundly relevant in the modern era. They remind us of the importance of cooperation, not just within small communities but on a global scale. The challenges we face today, climate change, pandemics, and geopolitical conflicts, require the same spirit of unity and shared purpose that enabled our ancestors to survive. Just as early humans relied on each other for survival, we must rely on collective action to address the existential threats of our time. The story also underscores the importance of innovation and adaptability. Our ancestors' ability to develop new tools, refine hunting strategies, and adapt to changing environments was crucial to their survival. Today, technological innovation remains a key driver of human progress. However, it is not enough to innovate for the sake of advancement. We must also innovate with a sense of responsibility, ensuring that our technological developments contribute to the well-being of humanity and the planet. Finally, the story of the Toba survivors is a testament to the enduring power of hope. Against overwhelming odds, a small group of humans not only survived but laid the groundwork for the thriving global population we have today. Their legacy is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is the potential for renewal, growth, and triumph. As we reflect on this ancient catastrophe, we are reminded of our shared humanity and the fragile yet resilient nature of life. The survival of our ancestors after the Toba eruption is a story of endurance, cooperation, and ingenuity. It is a story that continues to inspire and offers valuable lessons for navigating the challenges of the present and future. In the face of potential global catastrophes, whether natural or man-made, the legacy of the Toba survivors serves as a beacon of resilience. It calls on us to harness our collective strengths, innovate wisely, and support one another in the pursuit of a sustainable and prosperous future. Just as our ancestors emerged from the shadow of the supervolcano to rebuild and thrive, so too can we rise to meet the challenges of our time, forging a path toward a brighter tomorrow. If humanity could survive near extinction once, imagine what we can overcome today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay curious and stay resilient.